Let's talk some sports, baby.
And remember, make tomorrow better than today and make today better than yesterday. And you know what we gonna do. We gonna holler at you until next time, baby.
All right, guys, let's go ahead and keep it in the NBA with the trades that we do know of so far. We're a few days away from anything official, but several trades appear to be already set. The headliners are Chris Paul to the Phoenix Suns and the Milwaukee Bucks making two big moves. Paul's going to head to Phoenix to team up with Devin Booker and DeAndre Ayton, while they send Kelly Oubre, Ricky Rubio, and some other players in a first-round pick. The Bucks, meanwhile, made their Giannis pitch by trading quite the haul for Pelicans guard Jrue Holiday. They then followed that up with a trade for Sacramento sharpshooter Bogdan Bogdanovic for some role players. So, Jay, one contender and one hoping to become one. What do you think of these trades, and how do you grade them?
Yeah, let's stick with Milwaukee for right now, and then I think we'll circle back to Phoenix. I really like this from multiple angles from Milwaukee's perspective because, number one, I think what you have to do is you have to show your back-to-back MVP in the Greek Freak that you're serious about getting better. Milwaukee's been the best regular season team pretty much wire to wire the past two seasons. We know that they came up short in the Eastern Conference Finals against Kawhi, and they just, for whatever reason, after the restart in this past season, they just weren't very good in the seeding games and in the playoffs. I mean, Miami took it to them. So, you know, they appear to be missing something. We talked about it from time to time about they were missing that, you know, that tough guy, you know, with the Clippers having, you know, Marcus Morris, Patrick Beverley, and obviously Jimmy Butler in Miami, Jay Crowder as well. So they missing that guy that plays with an edge. Matter of fact, I mean, the Greek Freak is the guy that plays with an edge, but we talked about how you maybe necessarily don't want your best player to be filling that role. So what you have here, and not to say that, you know, maybe these acquisitions, they maybe don't solve that. But what you've done here is I think you've made a clear upgrade at the point guard position. When I look at Jrue Holiday and, you know, you're bringing him in for – and might I say the Pelicans, by the way, they got quite a haul for this. When you get Eric Bledsoe, George Hill, and 3 first-round picks, plus I'm looking at, you know, first-round swaps and, you know, a few years down the road, that's a major haul. And I think Jrue Holiday's got some stuff to live up to when you consider that that kind of draft pick haul and also two relatively good players that are going to New Orleans. I think he's up to the task. I think we talked about, you know, we've often referenced Eric Bledsoe's defense and how he was, you know, all NBA first team a couple years ago. Well, I mean that's a nice accolade, but you remember not too long ago, Jrue Holiday put the clamps on one Damian Lillard in a first round playoff series. So he's got that. I don't remember Eric Bledsoe having that type of playoff series performance. And he's also an established scorer. This is a guy who can get you 20 points on any given night. So I think when we looked at Milwaukee, we look at the Greek Freak, we look at Chris Middleton, but from time to time we expected Eric Bledsoe to kind of be that third guy. And on far too many occasions, Eric Bledsoe was a disappointment in my eyes. I think Jrue Holiday can absolutely be a more reliable third option. I know Bledsoe, like I say, he got that defensive reputation. I've seen Jrue Holiday lock down perimeter players. And then you look at a guy like Bogdan Bogdanovic, a young guy who can hit perimeter shots. Still, I believe, is probably on the ascent in his career. He's still on the rise. I think that's a big deal. What this has done for Milwaukee, it's gutted their depth to some degree. I'm looking at their bench right now, and you know I'm seeing Pat Connaughton, I'm seeing Robin Lopez, Marvin Williams. The bench looking a little thin right now. It's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. I mean, maybe you get a guy like Frank Mason to step up for you because they're looking. You know, not only did you give up Bledsoe, you gave up George Hill, so you gave up your 2 point guards. You got Jrue Holiday now, but now you're going to have to look at how they really fill out the roster and, you know, all the picks that they're going to that they're giving up. But at the same time, you had to be somewhat aggressive because not only are you playing for right now, you're also playing and trying to show your superstar back-to-back MVP that you're serious about contending and showing him, look, we're willing to make the requisite moves to continue to build around you, put the best team around you. And I believe this for quite a while now, Eric Bledsoe to me is not a great fit around Giannis. He's just not a good enough shooter. That's just factual to me. I still think Milwaukee made a significant error when they prioritized signing Eric Bledsoe over Malcolm Brogdon. I think they realize that now, and that's why they're trying to make up for it with Jrue Holiday.
Real quick, Jay, on your last point there, the Bucks are only going to have 7 players under contract. They're going to have the starting 5, we assume, after the trades, and they're going to have Giannis's brother and then one of the players they got from Sacramento. Those other guys, I don't think are under contract.
Or expiring contracts. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's going to be even more incumbent on them to fix that.
Oh, is this guy named the sharpshooter that they acquired? Is his name really Bogdan Bogdanovic?
I believe it's
So
Bogdan Bogdanovic. This is not the guy in Utah. But
I'm just looking at the spelling of his name. So it's basically his first name and then his first name with Vitch added to it.
Yep.
I think that's correct, yes.
That's some wild. Listen, me and my parents, we're going to have a talk about this. Look, we got to talk about this. Look, though, you're damn right. You're damn right. These the moves that had to happen. Listen, I said this loud, beat it on the drum. I said, Giannis ain't coming back to this roster. If this is the roster that you roll out to him, he's good as gone. Don't worry about it. He ain't signing nothing. I'll catch you on my private jet. But what I like what the Bucks did, they said, listen, we know we have a generational talent, and we don't want him to pull an Anthony Davis. We don't want him to pull a LeBron. We want him to stay right here. So what do? Let's get rid of these dudes that ain't been hitting on nothing anyway. And one thing I want to say about the job that the Bucks did, they were still able to keep their second call, one Chris Middleton. Because I thought Chris Middleton was going to be in the middle of whatever trade they made to upgrade that roster. I thought he was going to be a key part. Somehow, they found the team that took Eric Bledsoe and George Hill. We ain't even going to talk about the picks yet. They found a team to take both of them, right? And then not only did you find a team to take both of them, that team had a better guard that was better than both of them put together. I mean, this is brilliant. I'm liking what I'm seeing here, Milwaukee. So you go get you a Jrue Holiday, and then you go get Bogdan Bogdanovic. Like that's crazy to me. But listen, I know I'm talking trash about his name, but I can't talk trash about his game. Here's the deal: this dude can play. He can play. And he's definitely. I think that pick covers up the mistake they made with Malcolm Brogdon. So when we say they made a mistake and they left that offense and let that go to Indiana, I think that's a fit to make up for the offense you let go to Indiana. Then you got Jrue Holiday to surplus for the defense that you probably would have lost with Eric Bledsoe. Here's the deal, and I get what you're saying, Jay, about Bledsoe, but I want to say either last year's all-defensive first team or the year before, one of the two, they was the two guards on that team. So, listen, Eric Bledsoe, he does come up short in the offensive category. I can't debate that. I can't, it is what it is. And another reason I'm so fascinated with this trade for the Bucks is they got some low character, high performance guys. These ain't superstars I'm all about the name on the back more than the name up front. These are guys that's been team players. Jrue Holiday has been in the abyss down there in New Orleans for I don't know how long.
You meant high character, right?
Oh, my bad. High character. Yeah, you got it. But Jrue Holiday has been in the abyss down there in New Orleans, dealing with that bull crap, that old clown show. And not one time has he threw a fit, called it and went out. I want to be traded. None of that. He just kind of just rolled with the punches, right? Now he gets to go to a contender and actually get a chance to win. So I'm happy for that. And then you got Bogdan. Listen, my man down there he down in the Sacramento, and you know that team was a whole pot of young players from here, there, and everywhere. And then you threw in a veteran here, you know, every now and then, make them, you know, replicable, make them an NBA team. Now he gets to go on a winning franchise for the first time in his career. So now we'll see how that translates. I love what they did. I think what Milwaukee did in this trade market would be better than what the Brooklyn Nets would get if James Harden goes over to Brooklyn. I like what the Bucks did a lot more than that. Listen, I'm not saying these two players are better than James Harden, because that would be blasphemy. But I am saying I think they're better fits for Milwaukee than James Harden would be for the Nets if that's where he lands. That's all I'm saying. Both teams will have to worry about their benches when that time comes, but I do like what Milwaukee did a lot more with getting these two guys.
Yeah, the this trade, obviously, you guys both hit on it. They had to do something. You know, Giannis made a lot of stink about potentially leaving the team in the offseason, and then he never did. But I think that we all kind of thought maybe that was just lighting a fire under the management. Hey, let's do something. And I really like what you said, Drink, about Chris Middleton staying around. So I think that's true. A lot of people thought, okay, well, if they are going to blow something up, Middleton's going to be out of here. But they kept him around. So I think that Giannis – he likes Middleton a lot, and they play well together. Just the rest of the roster wasn't enough. And I think at the end of the day, what the Milwaukee Bucks did, from a pure value perspective, I would honestly say they lost the trade as far as who all they sent out. I mean, if you want to be like really honest about it, Eric Bledsoe averaged about 13, 14 a game, played pretty, almost great defense. He was second NBA all defense last year. I mean, he plays great defense. Now, Jrue Holiday, like Jay mentioned, he can play elite defense, like no doubt about it, especially in the playoffs. But is the couple points per game and maybe a little bit better defense, is that worth all the haul? Like you could argue maybe not. But what they did is they built a better playoff roster. They took a roster with some nice parts, but nothing. We saw in the playoffs they started running out of ideas. It was like, well, we can play this guy, we can try Wesley Matthews, we can try this and that. But like they were outmatched, you know, in the top five of the roster, and now you have a death lineup. I mean, you have Giannis, you have Middleton, you have Holiday, Lopez, and Bogdanovich. So you've got this really, really solid starting five. The problem now is you have $15 million in cap room, and you can only extend over the cap about $6 million because of you did a sign and trade, and that hard caps you on the luxury tax threshold. So you basically have about $20 million to fill 7 roster spots. They did go ahead and get 2 second-round picks in New Orleans. They're going to no doubt roster whoever they pick in the draft this week, and then they're going to have to fill out the rest with veteran minimum contracts, basically. If you do that, you might get a mid-level exception. You might be able to get one decent, guy come in still, but, they've basically shot their shot, right? And it's going to be tough. They're going to be injury prone. And a couple other things real quick. Jrue Holiday is also on an expiring contract, or his contract's up soon. You're going to have to try to lock him down. You're going to have to try to go ahead and get Giannis's extension done. You're going to try to do it now while your moves are fresh and, you don't have to give this a chance for it to fall apart, because Giannis could leave, and then the draft picks you sent to New Orleans aren't really a big deal if you stay good. As long as Giannis plays for you, you're going to be good. If he leaves and bolts and Holiday bolts, this whole thing blows up. You just gave New Orleans like years of top draft picks, but you're not going to, be able to use them type thing. So it's a risky move. But I think for the Bucks, as a smaller market team, you had to do this. You had to shoot for the fences, and you made smart moves. You got guys that are really, really good, but they're, like you said, they're not A1 steak sauce brand type superstars. They're really solid players. They're going to buy into the team thing, but you're not going to ruin your roster by doing that. So I thought this was really good. And then, the Kings, they made a smart move. I think they're going to pay buddy, and they've got some other things to work out. But I think overall this was smart, and the Bucks they're keeping pace in the East.